Thank you for joining me today on Your Words Create Your World podcast. I'm Carrie Robertson, and I'm excited to share with you a few things that are just heavy on my heart always, and that is the power of your words. There is no doubt every time that we open our mouth, we are absolutely either speaking life or we are speaking death. And so I want to just help you to understand that the very world you live in is the one that you have spoken into existence. But the very world that you desire is waiting for you to speak it into existence. And so, what I know is that people come from all different walks of life. There's different backgrounds, there's different upbringings, there's different things that they've gone through. And I just want to encourage you that no matter where you're at, no matter what season you're in, and no matter what your past says, is that you understand you are completely in control of what this world looks like for you and what your life can look like. And so, I tell you this because I have been in the lows, I promise, and I've been on the highs. And what I know is that there were things I can look back on and go, okay, I remember the words that I was choosing to speak in the low times, right? Things like, is this as good as it ever gets? Or I'm sick, or I'm broke, or whatever. You just go on with all the negative things that people constantly just continually filled their world with. Then I can tell you, when I learned to break free from that, when I learned to realize that I was giving life by the words that I was speaking, or I was creating death, like it's life or death, or in the power of the tongue. And so as I began to control my words and I began to have visions and hopes and dreams of a better future, everything in my world changed. So I've got to ask you, what are you speaking? Is it life? Are you talking about the plans that you have? Are you talking about the places you want to go? Are you talking about the kind of money you want to earn? Are you talking about the kind of optimal health you want to have? Are you talking about the marriage you would like to have? Or the children, or the job, whatever it is, because I want to encourage you as you begin to change your vocabulary and you begin to speak life into those, it is incredible to see what happens. In fact, I like to tell you that as you speak, you create. And so look around and say, what am I creating? And so, when I talk about all the things that used to hold me back, the words that I spoke were detrimental. And as a result, I was very unhealthy. I was extremely overweight. I didn't have any money to my name. I didn't have much of anything looking forward. When I learned to really begin to write down things that I wanted, began to see them in my mind and have visions of them, and then I began to speak about them in a positive light, everything in my world began to change. And I will tell you, it served me so well that I am here 25 years later. I've authored the book, Your Words Create Your World. I speak on this subject all the time because I've watched hundreds, if maybe not thousands, of lives transformed during that time by people just really grabbing a hold and understanding. And so there's a couple of things that I tell people is that whenever you start to understand that life is about 10% of what actually happens to us and about 90% how we respond. Now, let me clarify that because most people don't respond. 10% of life is what happens to us, and 90% is how we respond. Most people react. And with the reaction, it's typically like a bomb goes off. And the truth be told is you can see people all day long on social media and out in the world that are reacting. Something has happened. They're the victim. They are, I can't believe this happened to me mentality. And you know what? Things happen to people. I do know that. I do know in this lifetime, things are going to happen to us. They're going to come against us, right? Not even of our own doing. But I want to tell you, if you can learn to respond instead of react, you're no longer like a bomb that explodes on people around you, the people that love you. What happens is that you can begin to process it. And instead of saying, why is this happening to me? You can really step back and look at a bigger picture and say, this is happening for me. Now, it's hard in the moment. I'm going to tell you it's hard because there's no doubt that I have been at the low and I have been at the high, but not of my own doing. I have been brought back down. So I'm just telling you, I know when it comes to your finances, when it comes to things that are outside of your control, it can be really, really tough. But I want to encourage you that as you stop, step back, respond, not react, think about it, look at it from different angles, and begin to process it and begin to speak your way out of it, you are going to be amazed at what happens and what changes. And, I've had people say to me, Carrie, has anything bad ever happened in your world? Like, you're always positive. That's a choice that I make. And you too can make that choice. So life has its way of throwing fiery darts at all of us. But I'm just telling you, whenever you can stop and respond versus react, you can see the progress that you're making. You can see the doors that are opening that maybe if the last one hadn't have been closed, you wouldn't have ever walked through it. Right. And so just know that as we go through things, and we do go through things, just understand that this is one of those things in life that you don't get to go around it. You don't get to go over it. You don't get to make a detour and turn around backwards. Like, you're going to go through it. But here's what I have found over and over and over again. As I go through things, I grow. And as I go through them and as I grow through them, I now get to help somebody else get through it. Life is everything about what we do is to serve others. And so I know that every journey that I've had to walk and every challenge that's come at me or, things like that, I just get to sit back and go, what am I going to learn from this? When we were in grade school, we always took the test. And if we didn't pass it, what happened? We took it again. Well, in this thing called life, like, you don't want to keep taking the same test over and over again. So I want to encourage you that as you step back and you begin to respond and you begin to go through and grow through, then you're passing the test. And now you're going to get to come along somebody else who's taking it. And you want to help them get through it as well. And so that's what I love to do. I tell people, I feel like my job is to help people get through things. And I've been through some things. And that's the one thing I want you to know is I'm not coming on here and telling you, oh, I have all the answers. And I'm just telling you, life leaves clues. Success leaves clues. And whenever you can sit back and go, I know what happened to me then and what I've done now to overcome it. And if I can help other people go through their trials at the same time, then it's just satisfying to go, okay, that wasn't just for me to have to come back to the valley and go back to the mountaintop. So I just want to encourage you, pay attention to the words you speak, because your words bring life or they bring death. There's really no gray area. And so you want to begin to speak life over everything. So I tell people, write your vision down, see your vision, print off pictures, whatever it is, and begin to speak life over it every day, multiple times a day. And so as you do that, then as those things start to come to pass, see, what you'll find is whenever your mind is clear and your mind is headed in a certain direction, everything responds to it. And so as you speak, you create. Always remember that. So you ask yourself, what am I creating? With the words I'm speaking, am I creating life or am I creating death? Because it could be the fact that, you are constantly complaining about your coworkers or your boss. And then, well, what happens if you lose your job? That could be the spoken word that said, hey, you know what? This isn't something we're grateful for anyway. Like, that there's power in that versus, the person who's constantly just thankful they have an establishment to go to work, thankful they get a paycheck, thankful for those things. And they call things though they were not, as though they wish they were. And so you begin to speak life over every situation. My coworkers are amazing humans. My coworkers are incredible. My boss sees the potential in me. They see what I'm capable of doing and they reward me for that. See, that might not be your situation, but if you're speaking that over and over and over again every single day, watch what happens. I have heard the stories. I have seen it all. So I want to encourage you, speak life over everything and watch your world change. And I can't wait for you to share with me as you start to put this into practice, some of the things in your life that you're seeing the shifting in, because you will shift things, because as you speak, you create. And so I'm excited for you to be able to create something new, something fresh, something exciting. And that will not only serve you, but it will be a gift to the world and those around you. Because when you change the way you view the world will change the way they view you. And as you rise up and you begin to be a positive person and a light that shines bright for others to follow, I promise you, you are going to find that life is much happier. And it's incredible to see what happens as people are drawn to you and people want to be around you. So I can't wait to hear what happens for you. Please feel free to reach out and share with me. I hope this helps, and I can't wait to talk to you more next time.